and everything is measured. The irony is most of us are not aware of our relationship with our secret lover. Surrender to the secret lover is the actual theme of most religions, and yet the doctrines and the practices of the world's so-called religions tend to dilute or deflect or detour the individual from the genuine personal experience. Moreover, religious establishments have unceasingly strived to conceive their congregations, and that the most private of all religious events is not a personal experience at all, but an ambiguous, incomprehensible occurrence to be publicly affirmed and validated by the priestcraft. They in turn allow you to practice or participate with them to promote the sacred marriage. So in so many words, they're saying that the priests or the religions are striving for something when they're talking about your personal relationship with Christ. That personal relationship that they're talking about is nothing but the personal relationship with your soul or the heart chakra. And that's what that is talking about. Going back into this particular science, we're still talking about the soul, the heart chakra, and the inner self that has been diluted or deflated or been misconstrued to think it's the actual other person. But the secret lover that we're talking about is your heart chakra and your own personal spiritual aspect of your own soul, because ultimately this love that we're talking about is your own soul. Now, all right, we are back. In one of the Shiva mythologies, because Isis, Osiris, Shiva, we're still talking about the same duality of male and female in the interaction of love, and so we got this ancient mythology that can explain all of this. The Pravati, which is the aspect of Isis or even Mayat in East India, they talk about a dice game that both Shiva and Pravati engage in. And as a result, Pravati wins the dice game. And I'll try to explain what this is about. In this particular book called coming from Oxford University, The God Inside Out, Shiva's Game of Dice, by Don Handelman and David Schulman. Don Handelman and David Schulman. In this particular book, it says this book offers a new explanation of mythology of the Hindu god Shiva, who spends time playing dice with his wife, whom he habitually loses. The result of this game is our world, which turns the god inside out and changes his initial or his eternal, composition. And it goes on to say how he is so much engaged in this game that he eventually loses perpetually. Now, why is that? He loses perpetually because he can never truly, being a male, win out over woman. Because when he fights with woman, he's fighting with his own internal self. Being that the Kundalini energy or the sexual energy inside of us, which is the energy that catapults us up the chakra system, is a feminine energy. So that's why man has to, in his own right, get in touch with his feminine forces or feminine side, and in doing so, he can conquer synthesize this overwhelming thing that we call love. That we call love. And I guess that's the reason why I said earlier that women are smarter than men, that they are trained on this love thing from a child, and it is a lot easier for them to accept it or even recognize it at first when it first hits, and don't fight against it. And so I think that's what this thing of Shiva, you losing the dice game, is that ultimately she's always going to be one step ahead. But then again, on the other hand, that is great because she is the initiator of these particular mysteries. If man initiates, they say a lot of time, matters of the mind and knowledge, woman initiates matters of the soul. And that's the difference in a nutshell. But Pravati, which is the Shakti power that is inside of the vital essence of us as sexual beings, it goes to say, and I'll quote, that Pravati, her energy goes all the way back to the beginning of creation. Now I want to quote this. It's in the book, The Presence of Shiva. And they say that her energy goes all the way back to the beginning of creation. Pravati's energy. And I want to see what this thing is talking about here. Government, okay. It says, am I going to get this right? Trying to see here. Here it is. Let's see if we got this right. Page 349. You all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, page 349. Well, it's going to work out. It says, okay.
Hey, on that.
Hold on. It's working, man. Huh? You got to change it. Now, they're talking about the goddess Pravati of Aset. This is very important, this particular part about Pravati. They're saying that her very soul, the soul of this beautiful woman, which has a lot to do with black women in general. It goes to say in the book, The Presence of Shiva, that Pravati, her soul goes all the way back to the time before creation, before the great fall. Before the great fall. We good on the sound? Before the great sound fall. Which means if we as black people, man and woman, black man and black woman, tap into our true essence of our souls, then our souls would end up being a primordial energy that existed before creation. Now I try to understand this, and I try to set up what's going on with the white man and the civilization on what they know. A soul is a sun. When we fall in love, it is the expression or the energy of the soul that we are experiencing. It's the awakening of the soul. And the love is the result of the awakening of the soul, either for a small glimpse in time or a major glimpse. But when our souls wake up, unlike other races, because we are the original people, that means that very well there could be a few human beings or two human beings that can possess the soul